What's up? We're going to be talking about some NBA players that we think could kind of pop off as the NBA season is about to heat up, and could see like some action in the card market potentially. This is just our opinion. We could totally be wrong, and let us know in the comments which players you guys are looking at.
Yeah, so we're going to go through 6 different players. Player number 1 that we'll talk about is RJ Barrett for the New York Knicks. I feel like RJ Barrett is kind of been slowly progressing as the years have gone on. I feel like in his initial rookie year, he was definitely overshadowed by Zion, his former college teammate, and then also Ja Morant, and he was kind of in that next tier of rookies. However, he's been improving every year, and I feel like this next year, he's probably going to become kind of like the leader of the Knicks. I mean, they have Randall as well, but I feel like RJ is kind of becoming, someone with experience. He had a little bit of playoff experience as well, and I like his skill set. He can kind of do everything. He's a good playmaker as well. So I feel like RJ Barrett is somebody to look into, before hype really kicks in for the season.
If I'm RJ Barrett, I'm feeling pretty confident this season because I feel like last year they kind of like exceeded expectations. Right. The Knicks are kind of like a cool team again, and I feel good if I'm RJ Barrett.
I feel like the Knicks could definitely make the playoffs again.
Yeah, totally.
And this time it might be more so because of him rather than just with him also on the team. So number 2 player that we want to talk about is going to be Jaren Jackson Jr. for the Memphis Grizzlies. One of the top young players on that team. Obviously, Ja Morant has gotten most of the hype for the Grizzlies in the last couple of years. Jaren Jackson has had a lot of injury issues.
So many injuries.
But I feel like he has the potential to be kind of like a DeAndre Ayton type of player. And we've seen kind of with the big men that were high draft picks like Jaren Jackson Jr. that it takes them 3 or 4 years to really figure out the NBA game. And I feel like he's just entering that prime phase for the NBA big man. And I think that the Memphis Grizzlies are kind of they've been a young team, but they all kind of have stuck together with Brooks as well, and then Ja and him. So I feel like they're going to be a good team next year, and he'll probably, as long as he's not injured, be their starting center or power forward and be pretty good.
His Prizm is 2018. That's like Luka year. But he has some cool cards as well. Yeah, look at his PSA 10 was at 1.225.
It really fell.
170, and you can just see it's really low right now. So we know there's potential for this to be a valuable card. Go ahead.
So number 3 player on our list is going to be DeAndre Hunter. So DeAndre Hunter started to get a little bit of buzz at the end of last season as well as in the playoffs. He's also had some injury issues, but he's a solid player. I feel like if you watch him play, you can tell just by his size, speed, athleticism. At the least, he's going to be like a crazy lockdown defender. But it also looks like he's starting to figure out the offensive part of his game. So looking at the stats here, you can see last year he averaged about 15 points per game, and I feel like he just kind of needs to be given a little bit bigger of a role, stay healthy for a while, and he could end up in that 20 points per game range, and then that starts to enter like the superstar, or at least star level player for the NBA, and he's somebody who's pretty low, I would guess, right now. And he has Trae Young on his team, who Trae Young is a really good passer, and I feel like we'll definitely be able to get DeAndre Hunter involved. And he seems to be progressing every year as well. So I like that upward trajectory. So I feel like he's going to continue that. I feel like the Hawks, they maybe overachieved a little bit last year, but they were a young team and they're keeping all of the same guys. So I feel like the Hawks are going to be back again this year, and he'll be one of their starting 5 main players. So our next pick is going to be Kevin Porter Jr. Playing for the Rockets now. KPJ.
Let's go.
I feel like, from my knowledge, he's been one of the most volatile players as far as on and off of the court stuff, and also as far as hobby value goes as well. I feel like he's had crazy spikes after big games and then lows when he's not playing for teams. Almost got run out of Cleveland and didn't, get to play all of that much. So I think he's definitely, again, I would still say kind of like a risky pick, but with a super high upside.
But I feel like the Rockets are kind of a cool young team right now. So it's going to be fun to watch. On StarStock last year, I bought one of his cards and then I started watching his games. And he passes the eye test for me.
Yeah,
he
good.
looks sick. He kind of super smooth with it, like a James Harden sort of like look on the court. So he's
How
super
old
dope.
Is he?
He was a rookie at the Zion year, 2019.
Okay, so he's pretty young too. So he definitely
young.
still has some room to mature.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, totally.
Probably
I don't know.
20s.
I don't see his age, but very young.
Okay.
Very cool player. So, all right, who we got next?
All right, so 2 more to go. Our second to last player that we're looking at, and this is really only because of recent buzz, is going to be Jordan Poole. For the Golden State Warriors.
I just know I keep seeing on Twitter, he scored 30 points this game. He scored 25 points, 25. A new nickname on the internet is the Splash Nephew.
The Splash Nephew.
He's not a Splash brother, but he's a Splash Nephew. I don't really know too much about his game. He's just really starting to pop off now. I feel like when he was a rookie, everyone was obviously looking to pull, and still would be looking to pull, like Zion, Ja, and then you see Jordan Poole, and you're like, wah. Yeah. But now he's looking pretty dope, so... I feel like if he has some good regular season games, then I'll start taking it seriously.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like with Klay Thompson still not playing for a while, he'll probably get some good opportunity in this year, like playing next to Steph. But, if Klay Thompson comes back, I feel like they play the same position and have similar style. So he might be somebody to buy into now and sell while the hype is still high, or hold for a really long time. So,
what do you guys think about Jordan?
Check out his values on Star
He's
Soccer,
cheap.
because he definitely was dirt cheap, but I wonder if he's already seen a little bit of a spike in the last couple of days.
What should I look? Prizm?
Maybe Prizm base.
Boom! Look at that.
Yeah, so you can see that. A little bit of just the normal preseason hype coming in, and then boom, those preseason games, and now he's spiking like crazy. Yeah. So, still cheap, still only $10. It looks like bad time to buy because he's definitely at a high. That could be the case, but it's such a cheap buy anyway. Potentially would still look into it, but it looks like people are already getting on that Jordan Poole train.
What do you guys think of Jordan Poole? I know he's a hot topic right now in the NBA circle, so let us know. All right, what do we got next?
All right, last player that we want to look at is Clippers sensation, Terrence Mann. Obviously had some huge moments at the end of last season and during the playoffs. And he is really good. I feel like he passes the eye test. He kind of looks like a young Kawhi, and he's pretty good shooter, pretty clutch. And this year with Kawhi being injured probably the entire year, I think, Terrence Mann will probably see a bigger role for a good Clippers team. So I feel like he could definitely catch some eyes this year.
His numbers here look not good.
They look not good at all.
Playoffs maybe a little bit better. But I feel like if you just watched a few of the big Clippers games last year in the playoffs, you'd kind of understand these numbers aren't really reflective of what we may see this next season. Yeah,
I feel like with Kawhi out, I would guess he's going to be at least a starter for the Clippers.
That'd be sick.
And whenever he's had playing time, he's played well. He's been volatile too. I feel like he spiked quite a bit during the playoffs last year.
Star stock A. Yeah.
So he's been volatile a little bit as well.
But still, I like Jordan Poole, a cheap Prizm card to look at.
We should act on some of these.
Yeah.
That concludes it for some of our NBA buys for this upcoming season.
Yep.
If you're going to act on any of these things, would recommend doing it in the next week or two because I feel like NBA is really about to pick up steam. MLB, most of the players are done already for the year except for the few that are in the playoffs.
Yeah.
NFL, we're starting to already kind of see how these new quarterbacks, second-year quarterbacks are doing, and I feel like that's starting to plateau, kind of level off, not really as much hype when it comes to NFL. So I feel like basketball is the next wave, and it's coming soon. So I would act on that pretty quickly.
And if you guys are watching this in the YouTube video, let us know in the comments section which players you're looking at and which players here you agree with or disagree with that you think are going to be bad or good. So there you guys have it. Thank you.